Hi, this is Christian, and welcome back to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, NFL Draft Overview. With the first overall pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select? Well, that's a question we'll have to find out in the coming days ahead. Some popular names include Jadeveon Clowney from South Carolina, Blake Bortles from Central Florida, and also Johnny Manziel from Texas A&M. Those will most likely be the top candidates for the Texans to choose at the top of this draft. So who will they pick? We'll just have to find out on May 8th. The quarterback class is very strong as Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, and of course Blake Bortles lead the way at this amazing quarterback group. Johnny Manziel is one of the most electrifying prospects in college and soon to be in the NFL. My guess is that he'll go to Jacksonville at number 3. Teddy Bridgewater, many people think he'll fall out of the first round, but I think he's too talented for that to happen. Also, Derek Carr could be a one to sneak into the first round, maybe to Cleveland, but we'll have to find out and see. And of course, Blake Bortles. Well, he could go all the way up to number 1, or he could fall to even Arizona, perhaps. And there's some other big names like A.J. McCarron from Alabama and Jimmy Garoppolo from Eastern Illinois. So there's just a lot of great names, and we'll see where they fall in the coming days ahead. The best position group in this year's NFL Draft would have to be the wide receivers, and heading that group would be Sammy Watkins from Clemson. Also, Mike Evans from Texas A&M could challenge him for the first receiver off the board. Some other big-name wide receivers include Brandon Cooks from Oregon State, and also Odell Beckham Jr. from LSU. Also, Cody Latimer from Indiana could be a big name on the rise and could make some things happen for a team at the end of the first round, perhaps a Carolina. And also, for the tight end groups, we have Austin Seferian-Jenkins and of course Eric Ebron, who is projected to go inside the top 10. Seferian-Jenkins could go in the first round, but most likely to the second round if he doesn't go to a team like Green Bay at the end of the first round. There's a lot of talented running backs in this year's NFL Draft. Leading the way would be Carlos Hyde from Ohio State. He's as talented enough to go in the late first, but will probably wind up in the second round. Some other names include Bishop Sankey from Washington, Trey Mason from Auburn, Jeremy Hill from LSU, and also in the later rounds you could pick up Devontae Freeman from Florida State or DeAnthony Thomas from Oregon. There is a lot of talented names on the offensive side of the ball, and particularly the offensive line. Heading that group would have to be Greg Robinson from Auburn, along with Jake Matthews from Texas A&M. Both can instantly become day one starters at the offensive tackle position and may be able to move around if needed. Also, Taylor Lewan from Michigan and Cyrus Kouandjio from Alabama can also make some things happen for a team that needs an offensive tackle. Morgan Moses is also a player to watch on the offensive line. He could sneak in to the first round. On the offensive guard side, Zach Martin and Xavier Su'a-Filo from UCLA can make big things happen for a team that maybe needs in the mid to late first round. And Joe Bitonio from Nevada can also sneak into that first round, but most likely will be a high second round pick. The linebacking group is pretty strong as well. Leading the way is Buffalo prospect Khalil Mack. He may possibly be the best player in this year's NFL Draft. Some other linebackers to watch include Anthony Barr and also the Florida State tandem with Christian Jones and Telvin Smith could go in the later rounds. And finally, C.J. Mosley. He could go anywhere from a top 10 prospect to the second round. He's a tough one to predict. But overall, these linebackers will be fun to watch this year. The cornerback class is very good, and leading the way would be Justin Gilbert from Oklahoma State. Some other big names include Darquise Dennard, Kyle Fuller, Jason Verrett, and Bradley Roby. But perhaps one of the most interesting prospects would be Pierre Desir, a Division II player from Lindenwood. He could go anywhere between the 2nd to 4th round and could challenge for a starting spot in the NFL this year. On the safety spots, you have Clinton Dix from Alabama and Calvin Pryor from Louisville. Both players can become day one starters and help a team in the secondary. As we wrap up the position groups, we have defensive tackles, and leading the way would be Pitt defensive tackle Aaron Donald. He is a very explosive player and can help a team instantly, perhaps at number 14, the Chicago Bears, who desperately need to improve their defense. Also, Timmy Jernigan is another interesting prospect from Florida State that can help out on the defensive line as well. Some other notable names include Lewis Nix from Notre Dame and Rashid Hagman from Minnesota.